Okay, so to start this off, what we're going to do, for my particular build, I'm going to need to go 1, 2, 3, 4 across, but from the actual water line, you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down, then place a block, then 4 down to place another block, or 5 down, sorry, but there is a 4 block gap and a 5 block gap. Then on the side here, we're going to go 3 across, place a block, 3 across, place a block, diagonal, 3 across, place a block, up 1, place a block, 3 across, place a block, down 1, place a block, 3 across, place a block, then down 1 again, place a block, 3 across, place a block, and then once you've got that in, you're going to do the same to the opposite side, like so, almost there. And if you've done this correctly, then you should have a 7 block gap between these 2 blocks on the end, which will have nothing in it because this will also act as an entrance. Once you've got that, what you then want to do is take your wooden logs, and we're going to place in a wooden log sideways, followed by a chisel stone, and we're going to do that for each of these 3, and this last one here, not including the one on the very end. We can then take our oak wood, bring it 3 across, just like so, so they're all attached. We're then going to bring up all of these other pillars up by 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so all of the wooden logs up by 3. And obviously we only do this sort of pattern on this side since it's closest to the water line, and this is where we will have our actual turning wheel. So once you have all of those up by 3, you also want to be placing a chisel stone brick on top, and then once you've got that in, you want to replicate the same pillar design to the rest of these wooden logs going around. So I'm going to quickly go around and do all of them, you do the same, and I'll be right back to you. Okay, so once you've got all of those pillars done, you want to be then taking your wooden logs, and we're going to place in a little circumference along the top here, connecting up the chiseled stone and the pillars. So on the actual front entrance here, we're going to place in 3, and we're actually going to place in another chiseled stone brick and then 3 across again, and then we carry on as we have done before, going around. And then once you've got that in, you want to be taking your wooden logs, and we're going to place a wooden log sticking out on the bottom here and on the top here, and we're going to do that going around for most of these pillars. You can place them here as well. We're going to place 1 sticking out on the front of this chisel stone, and we're also going to place them in here. And then on the top here, we're just going to place in the logs on the top, just like so. And then once you've done that, we're going to take our cobblestone and we're going to line the backs of these areas with cobblestone. For here, we're going to move this one to the center, so it's one up and in between these 2 logs. This should be in line with this log, and this should be in line with this log. Over here, we're going to do the same, like so, and then we're going to leave these 2 areas empty, and then fill up our cobblestone, just like so, and then we're going to replicate that same design to the rest of each of these walls. So I'm going to go around and just quickly fill in these cobblestone walls, you do the same, and I'll be right back to you. So now that we've got all those walls in, what we can then do is just add in a bit of foundation detail. So the first thing we're going to do is take our cobblestone bricks or blocks, place a block on the bottom in the ground there with a cobblestone wall, stair on top with a slab on top of that, place in a block. And this is a bit tricky to do now that I've placed that slab, but I'm just going to quickly remove it, place in an upside down stair facing towards the wall or the actual pillar, followed by a cobblestone wall on top. And we're going to do this same pattern to each of these pillars going around. But just before we do that, we also need to make sure that we have an edit in place for these areas here. So for this, we're going to place in the same sort of pattern and design. So we're going to place in our stair with the slab on top, and then our block in the back here. And then on the front here, we're going to place in our cobblestone on the floor, then a cobblestone wall, followed by a block with a stair and a slab on top. And that will be replicated to the rest of these, whereas our pattern before will be replicated to the rest of these pillars going around. So I'm going to quickly go around and fill in the rest of these pillars with our little design. So I'm going to first do this one, which I suggest you guys do first, and then I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to quickly go and do that. You do the same, and I'll be right back to you. All that pillar detailing in, what we can then do is take our oak wood, and we're going to place an oak wood on top of all the chiseled stone on this layer, going all the way round like so. We can then take a cobblestone wall and place a cobblestone wall on top of each of the sticking out wood on all of them, going around like so. We're then going to take a cobblestone slab and place a cobblestone slab on all the wooden logs which are connected to the cobblestone walls like so. So we've got all that going around, so we should have 6 blocks spare. Once we've got that, we want to be taking some oak fence, and we're going to place oak fence between each of the wooden logs going around until we have them all in like so. Once we have that, we're going to take cobblestone stairs and place cobblestone stairs either side of logs like so, with a slab in the center and 2 slabs underneath. And we're once again going to do that all the way round. So I'm going to quickly try and place all of these in between each of the log sections. If you're on survival, this may be the bit that you struggle with the most, because each block is a bit finicky and doesn't always go where you want them to go. So we have them in like so. Going around. And then on the next one. And then on the next one. And finally, the last one. Like so. So we have everything in, going around. And then for the actual wall segments, we're going to need to place in, first off, a little stone brick U shape with a stone brick stair in the center, 2 cobblestone walls on top of the stone bricks on top of them, a slab in between the 2 bricks. Remove this gap, or remove this block and place in an iron bar. In front of that, you want to be removing the ground and placing in 3 blocks. Then taking oak leaves and placing 3 oak leaves with 3 slabs on top of them. And then some cobblestone going around the front part just here. And you want to be replicating that same design to, I'm just going to take yellow to mark it out. You want to be doing that same design to this section, this section, this section, and this section. And if you do it correctly, you should notice that this area sort of is brought forward and is a bit further out than this area. But for these sections here, you're going to make a slight change. You're not going to add in any of the cobblestone detailing on the bottom. We're just going to place in our stone bricks with our stair in the center, our slabs, our cobblestone, our blocks, our slab again. Remove the middle and place in an iron bar, and we're going to be replicating that same design. I'll choose a different color so we don't confuse us. Place in that same design to these 2 sections here, and for these sections we've marked with yellow, we're going to place in this design. So I'm going to quickly go around and finish off the rest of these walls. You do the same, and I'll be right back. Okay, so once we have all of those walls in, the next thing we want to do is just correct a mistake that I made. Now, it's fairly large, but it's mainly to do with just this area here, where we have this sort of overlaying area. So what we want to first do is just remove our connectors, our things on the front, and stuff like that. We can leave in the actual pillar detail, because that is fine. So the bits on the top as well. I make these mistakes fairly often due to the fact that, like, the bigger the build, the sort of more complicated the thing everything gets, and it's hard to remember everything. But to actually correct this, we're going to place in 2 going across on each of these chisel stone, then connecting them all up along the 3 here, like so. So they're all connected like so, and then we can add back in. And since we don't have any actual walls, this is fine. We can add in the rest of our details like so. Going around. Place in our walls. And then finally, our upside down stairs and our slabs. We've got our slabs on the bottom underneath these, just like so. The last one here, and that should correct the mistake that I made, and I do apologize for that, but what's done is done. But what we can then do is take our buttons, and we're going to place a button on the front face of each of these logs going around, like so. So we can place them here as well, and we have them all in. And then once we've done that, we're now going to do these corners. So for the corners, what we're going to do is first place in a wooden log facing towards the sky with a slab on top. Oops. Then place in an upside down stair, a slab beneath those upside down stairs. On the bottom here, we're placing in 2 blocks, then a block beneath the wooden logs, and a cobblestone wall in the center. Replace the ground parks with stone brick. Place in 3 leaves with 3 brick slabs on top. And we can finally finish this little area off with some base cobblestone just going around and circling it, just like so. And obviously the same would be for here as well. On these corners, it's exactly the same design. I know people will worry since it's a slightly different sort of structure that it's being built around, but in a whole, the actual way you build the corner is exactly the same, and it works perfectly when you actually have all the pieces, just like so, with the cobblestone going around and connecting up to the rest of the base. Now I'm going to quickly go and finish off the last 2 corners. You do the same, and I'll be right back to you. Okay, so once we actually have those corners in, as you can see, I've got them in, like so. Once we've done that, we're actually just going to work a little on the sort of water side of the actual build. So what we want to do is first remove some blocks and place in 2 cobblestone here, or at least down to whatever ground you've got. And basically in my build, I'm going to have to remove a lot of ground and then make sure that I can get to the back here and place in 2 cobblestone just behind this wooden log here. Then place in 2 logs just underneath this chisel stone. In my case, it's just 2 logs. With you, it might be a bit more. And I'll place them in the right place, with cobblestone behind these 2 logs as well. Once again, doing the same with 2 logs. And then finally on this one here, because it's not going to be the same here since it's not really a foundation structure for the actual riverside, it's more just a bit of balcony. So we're going to place it in here as well. with our cobblestone in the back and along the side, like so. We can then, this is up to you, you don't have to do this, but I kind of like neat water, so I'm just gonna quickly place in the water going around so it fills in the area. Just like so. And then I'm going to place in a cobblestone upside down stair in line with this log, and I'm going to do that to each of these with a slab in the center and then a stair on the side here. Now as you can see, this is turned into a corner stair. We don't want that, so we're just going to quickly replace it with a block and then place in the rest, going around just like so. So they're placed in, and then we want to make sure that everything sort of matches up and sort of looks neat. So we're going to place in a cobblestone here, and we're just going to quickly have a look around to see what else we can place in. And here we're going to place in 3 cobblestone, 2 cobblestone, and then a cobblestone connector, going around these pillars on the ends, like so, to neaten up the area. And then finally here as well, I'm gonna have to check to see where we had it here. So this was 2 blocks down, so we want to do 2 blocks down and then across, like so. And then because we want to keep things neat, we're now going to go inside and place in a neat ring of cobblestone going around this entire area, just like so. So they're all in like so. Once we've got that in, if you want to, this is up to you. I'm not particularly bothered about doing it too much, but what you can do, just neaten up the floor here and make it look like the foundation is part of, or in the water, shall I say. You can also place in, I missed some cobblestone in a couple places. You can place in a ring going around, like so, just as we had before, to make it look like it is part of the structure, actually in the water. And we have it nice and neat, just like that. And just before we go, we place in a line here, and we're not going to do anything to this inner bit just yet. We'll wait until next time. So I'm going to say thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Remember to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and check out my other tutorials and videos if you haven't done so already. Next week we'll be working on probably the next floor and the actual interior and where the sort of water blades will go. So see you guys next time. Bye.